Hey guys, EBPMAN here, and today Samsung announced in their Galaxy Unpacked event all the details that everyone's been waiting for the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. And in this video, I wanted to share with you what should you expect as a Galaxy Note 7 user that had to give up their phone. And then also, if you're looking at the Note 8, when can you place your orders? What's the cost going to be? And what are some of the major new features? Let's go ahead and check it out. Now, the first thing we want to talk about is Galaxy Note 7 users like me. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that had to trade in to get either an S7 or an S6, because all the phones were either being locked out by the carriers or through a Samsung patch that was delivered. Now, what the good news is that there is going to be some type of increased trade-in value. However, one of the things I just want to mention is that I haven't really seen this confirmed yet by Samsung. This is something that The Verge has reported, is that Samsung is going to offer you probably a more valuable trade-in for your phone. They say up to $425. Now, when I first read this, I thought, wow, $425. Well, it's not really 425. It's the value up to 425. Now, what we need to do is understand, which phones are going to be eligible and how much you're going to give you for those phones to determine if it's worth taking that trade-in. If you have an S8 and it's unlocked, you could probably get more than 425. So this is not going to be that valuable for you. But there are some type of incentives that are going to be in place. Now, the other thing that kind of I'm a little concerned about this is that it's going to be via Samsung.com. So that means that if you went to T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, or Sprint and had to go through that exercise, it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to do anything for you at the stores. So we need to see how all this stuff works. But the important thing is that tomorrow this stuff goes live. So before you do your purchase, either on Samsung.com or AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, or Sprint, make sure you understand what incentives they're giving you when it comes to that extra value trade-in. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is pricing. So from a pricing perspective, this is what is out there right now. First of all, you are looking at around $930, which is a pretty hefty price for for this type of phone. Obviously, it's more expensive than the S8 and the S8 Plus. But here's some of the options that you have: 930 with the installment plan process if you choose that, 960 if you go to Verizon. I don't know why they always have to be the most expensive. And then you have AT&T at 950. You do have Sprint at 960, so they're following the Verizon model. Unless you have a Samsung Forever, and I don't know if those of you who are on T-Mobile, let me know, or Sprint, if you have that Samsung Forever plan, do you know if you can just upgrade to the Note 8 if that's something that you want to do? Leave it in the comment area below. Now, the neat thing about this is that you also get the option to just go ahead and buy it straight out. And when you look at this, if you're going to buy your phone, why not just go for the unlocked version, carrier agnostic? Because look at this. Why would you pay $30 more? Yeah, almost actually $20 more for an AT&T phone that has bloatware when you can get one that doesn't? And then why would you pay $30 more for a Verizon phone that has bloatware? Now, the only one who's doing this really justice is, I think, T-Mobile. When you look at these two prices, they're pretty comparable. Now, in addition to your phone, you're going to get a 64 gig version, so there's only one version. Now, what they're offering you, though, with this pre-order is that you're going to get a wireless charger. So you get a wireless charging pad, as you can see right here. And you can also get a 128 gig SD card. Both of these come with the pre-orders. Now, you could choose to say, hey, I want the Gear 360 camera, but me personally, I think that the 128 and the wireless charging pad is the best value. I have a Gear 360 camera. I don't really use it as much. I don't think it's worth, when it comes to the trade-in, you get much more value at having a large SD card and then also the wireless charging pad. Now, what's changed with the Note 8? Are a couple things. First of all, there's software changes and there's also some hardware changes. So let's talk about just one of the things that they highlighted that I think is very useful, and that is the ability to pair applications that you use often. So as you can see here in this visual, you have the mapping software, and then you also have uh, an audio application running at the same time. And what Samsung was communicating here is really giving you that ability to pair two applications at the same time. So if you're using these two together, as you can see here, you can actually combine them in one single icon that you can drag from the corner of your screen. It's going to be available as a shortcut, and both will open simultaneously. Now, one of the next features, or one of the coolest features of the phone, I would say, is going to be the dual camera. So it has two lenses, one that's going to be a telephoto lens and one that's going to be a wide angle lens. And as always, it's going to be superior to what you see on the iPhone and any other phone that has the dual lenses. And that's because of the image stabilization. Each one of those lenses has image stabilization built in, and you're going to see that in a couple seconds where they show that the actual lenses themselves, as there's motion, what they're going to do is they're going to make sure that it keeps steady. So you'll see that right here in a second, see how both of them have dual OIS. And that's what you don't see in a lot of cameras today. So as you'll see in this comparison, the iPhone 7 Plus doesn't really come close to the stability when you start looking at that either telephoto lens, and you can see how this is blurry and this is sharper. So you're going to get better focus, better pictures, especially for those that are in motion, regardless of which lens you're focusing on. Now, the next feature that comes with the dual lens is the ability to have that bokeh effect in the background. And that's where, as you see right here, you can blur this and only maintain the focus of the individual that is in front of you. Now, Samsung has always had this, and many people don't know about the selected focus function. However, it didn't work well. It looks like they've really made this a lot more functional and easier to use. And now it's called live focus. So what we're seeing here is, I think, the other major advancement in the camera, and that is being able to do that selected focus, now called live focus. And where they have taken this one step beyond what Apple has today is the ability to not only adjust the level of blurring in the background and maintaining that person or thing that you want to keep in focus, but they also give you the ability to adjust it. So what you're seeing here is a person come from the audience, a local radio host, and the Samsung exec is going to take a picture of them and then also adjust how much of the background gets blurred out. What's really cool about this is that after that photo's been done and that she's adjusted the photo blurriness in the background, she can go back and open up that picture and then adjust it again. So here what you see is she's showing the camera picture and then she's adjusting the back to create how much of a blur effect. You'll notice he's in focus and the back is kind of blurred out. But again, the fact that she can do it here and then go back even after it's taken, and if she wants to adjust it, she can do that. That I would say is probably one of the coolest implementations of this feature that everyone is using nowadays. Now, the last feature I wanted to talk about is the S Pen, and really that's what the Note is all about. And they've done to the S Pen, made the S Pen dust resistant, water resistant. Remember, the S Pen doesn't require any power. There's also improved sensitivity, things that you would expect. And they talked about how they have coloring books and they have all these different things. But what I found interesting is this next feature. So what you can do is actually take a picture and then write on the picture and create kind of like an animated GIF. And when you send it to someone, they're going to see that kind of animation take place. As you see here, you'll see the exec wrote hello. And what will happen is it kind of writes it back. So when you get this text message with this attached image, you're going to be able to see this feature. The last thing I wanted to share with you were the specs. And I have already cases for the Note 8 in my studio. And I compared the Note 8 to the S8 Plus, and they're very similar in size. Very comparable. So would I recommend this for someone that has an S8 Plus? Well, it really depends if you're looking for the camera, because to me, the camera in this is going to be fantastic for both video recording as well as, the bokeh effect. But the screen for the Note 8 is at 6.3 inches, slightly larger than what you have with the S8 Plus. Great, again, it's a Super AMOLED screen. Here's your resolution, 521 pixels per inch, which is going to be good. You do have your S Pen. We talked about the ability to send that live message that you saw where the exec actually wrote something on there. Screen write has also been enhanced to give you the ability to write up to 100 pages. I don't know who would do that, but that's definitely something you can do. And some of the existing things that you could do before is there, and now it's IP68 certified. The camera itself is an 8 megapixel in the front, and the rear dual camera is also, I think, pretty fantastic based on that dual OIS technology and that live focus. So here are all the specs for those of you who are really interested in that. So what you have is a 12 megapixel lens on each side. One is telephoto, 2x zoom, and the other one is a wide angle camera. From a recording perspective, 4K, pretty much everything that you can do with the S8 or S8 Plus, you can do here. Good processor as well. And again, depending on what part of the world you are, you will be able to see differences or something that's very similar. 64 gig is the base. You could get a 128 256. I don't see why you would when you can expand the memory up to 256. And then the other thing is that it's going to be with Android 7.1. It's not going to have Android O, which is a little disappointing. It just was released, but I hope that they address that really soon. From a Bluetooth perspective, you'll have the same capabilities that you have today with the S8, that dual audio where you can separate the channels as you can. A lot of people don't use that. And then water resistance IP68. Now the battery isn't huge. It's a 3,300 milliamp hour battery, which is good. I'm sure that there's a lot of software optimization. I've loved my S8 Plus, and I don't know that you need something that's that much larger. And you can see here what they expect with playback time, video, talk time. I think this is pretty good, and I've been really happy. Wireless charging is still there. iOS sensor is still there. Samsung Pay is still there. All those things are there. So, if you have an S8 Plus, really it comes down to, do you want to do an upgrade? Because the size is negligible, the difference. And it's really more to me about someone who is in love with using the S Pen, and there's a lot of people out there, including me. And then there's also the fact that you have that fantastic dual lens camera. So this wraps up what you can expect with the Note 8. If you have any comments or questions, leave it in the comment area below. Stay tuned to the channel and subscribe because I do already have accessories for the Note 8. I also have accessories for the iPhone 8. LG V30. Those those phones are going to be showcased on the channel, and we'll do an accessory review, the capabilities, we'll do tips and tricks. All those things will be happening as soon as these devices become available. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and give this video a thumbs up. Hey guys, EBPMAN here, and today Samsung announced in their Galaxy Unpacked event all the details that everyone's been waiting for the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. And in this video, I wanted to share with you what should you expect as a Galaxy Note 7 user that had to give up their phone. And then also, if you're looking at the Note 8, when can you place your orders, what's the cost going to be, and what are some of the major new features? Let's go ahead and check it out.